Who? What? Who? Heart. Heart. You're absolutely right. Let's hear it for the lady. Knows her trivia. Before we bring out the man who played the lovable doorman, I want to get back to some of the little dish that was going on up there. Give it to me. What was going on? You were talking about...
This one breaks up all the time. And he looks at me because he knows I'm the weak one. And he makes it over by me and does this so that when he laughs, I'll laugh too. And then he tells the director, she.
You said you guys sound like kids in the back of a class.
That's right. Absolutely. She's impossible to work with. Well, they all are, in a way. I mean, Isabel, never my queen. You're never impossible.
Oh.
Just incredible to work.
Now, Isabel, how did you get that?
I've been called the queen for years.
It's because it was in our contract. we had to sign a statement.
We had to bow.
You had to bow. It's in the contract.
Genuflex.
Oh, God.
We would do anything for $1.
Well, speaking of someone who would do anything for $1, he couldn't do a Jefferson's. We couldn't do a Jefferson's reunion without the man who spent as much time holding out his hand for tips as he did opening the door. Please welcome Ned Werdimer, who played Ralph. You're the best. You're the best. Oh, thank you. Have a seat. Make yourself at home. You sure were asking for those tips on that show. Even out there in front of the building today, you were hitting me up for some tips.
Yeah, but I gave the $20 back to your producer.
They said you kept it.
I should have kept it. I'm still upset that I gave it back to him.
Well, here, oh, well, no, I better not.
Oh, gosh. Ned, what is it? You know, we were just talking a little earlier about how the Jeffersons really portrayed an interracial couple for the first time, and just what the reaction was to all of that. And you, in real life, actually married a Nigerian woman. Is that right?
Very much so.
Very much so.
Very much in love with her.
Really? You courted her for 7 years.
Only
what
7
a
years. When I met her, I said, this is it. And 7 years later, she said the same thing.
You had a knife at her throat?
No. The lady came over here and got her MA and PhD at Howard University in history. And we luckily met one another, and we've been together for 25 years.
Wow, that is wonderful. Absolutely wonderful. I understand. When you were in college, you were a business major. This seems a long way from what you majored in way back in college.
Yes, I went through the Wharton School of Business, and the one thing it taught me is that I didn't want to go into business. I was good as an actor. That's what I had confidence in. So I went into acting.
Wow. Well, that's quite a business in itself.
Well, it's a profession. You can make a business out of it. I'm on the board of directors of our Actors Federal Credit Union, and I know something about that. Everybody join your credit union. What was the next question?
Question is, how come I can't get a loan?
Well, you can get a loan. But I'm not the one that can get it because I know you too well.
That's the problem. Okay.
What are some of your favorite memoirs as you look back over those special years? The thing that you remember most, your most special memoir? Isabel?
You would pick.
You just had that queenly approach to the topic.
What was it?
Sammy Davis story.
She played Betty Davis?
Sammy Davis story.
Davis, you can't.
I enjoyed working with Sammy, but nothing happened really big to repeat. No more than the whole show was a gas working with him, and I was supposed to push him around and shove him, and he was just about like that.
Right? Do y'all... Well, go on.
Well, and he said, look, baby. If you're gonna push, push. If you're gonna pull, pull. I mean, don't treat him like a baby. I love hearing that. And so when I had to shove him in the closet, I shoved him in the closet, closed the door, dragged him out, and he seemed to love it. And that was just sugar to me.
Yeah, I'll never
loved
forget
it.
the day when Sammy Davis Jr. kissed Archie Bunker.
Oh,
do you
yes.
remember that scene? Oh, I thought we were going to fall off the living room chairs in my house.
Yeah.
You know what, Isabel, your first role, 1968. Do you remember what movie she did first? Guess Who's Coming to Dinner with Sidney Poitier and Spencer Tracy and Katharine Hepburn. Isabel played Tilly the maid. I was looking at the film a few weeks ago and I said, I know her. Wait a minute, she's coming up on the show.
But you'd be surprised how many people don't remember me
Yeah.
in that movie.
That's amazing.
But it's a classic today.
Yes,
and
indeed.
I really enjoyed doing it. And working with Spencer, well, I knew Sidney. Sidney and I pounded the beat here in New York together, same time, years ago. But Spencer Tracy was so funny. We'd be falling down laughing while he tell one of his stories, and he's not cracking a smile. He's just telling the story. And we... and he would say, and he would admire Katharine Hepburn's legs. You know, saying she still has the legs. And she would say about his pictures that I don't like his younger pictures because he looks like an Irish cop. But the older pictures, he looked very aristocratic and very sophisticated. And you hear these compliments from each other, and it was beautiful.
Yeah, was that romance going on at that time?
I suppose, the respect for each other.
Yeah.
Although he would say, Catherine, shut up! And she would shut up. And then she would say to me sometime, I'm passing by, Isabel, she says, Spencer, I think you're marvelous. Thank you.
And so do we. We have plenty more surprises for you, but first, more Jefferson trivia questions. Do you know how many dry cleaning stores George Jefferson owned? Oh, the answer when we come back. We'll be right back in a minute. You know how many? How many? Great time here. It's the Jeffersons reunion show, and the trivia question before the break was, how many dry cleaners did George Jefferson own? Okay, how many? Who knows? How many you say?
I say 7.
How many you say?
7.
7? How many do you say?
7.
7. Oh, everybody says 7?
I also say 7.
7?
7.
2.
You say 2. Somebody down there said 12 during the break. Well, let's take a look and see if this clip might give us some clue to how many cleaners George Jefferson owned.
Hi, ladies and gentlemen. I'm George Jefferson, Jessica Jefferson's grandfather, but you don't want to hear about me. What you want to hear about is my 7 dry cleaning establishments throughout the city, one near you.
7 was the answer. Some questions for you guys here.
This question's for Marla. I know you're on 227 also, and you seem like you love the cast. Did you love working with this cast much better than the cast of 227?
Oh, me?
Yes.
You like working with this cast.
I heard the question.
Well, you asked.
Yes, I loved working with this cast because we came to work to play. Jefferson's cast was wonderful too, but I had more responsibilities on that show. The queen here, I could just play all day because she was the star of the show.
Well, did they write you in to have this kind of combative attitude with George, or did that something that just kind of came about?
That started evolving. Actually, the first show, he was the one that wanted to hire me. She didn't want me. He wanted.
didn't?
You didn't, because he wanted me because the Willises had a maid, and you didn't want a maid. You didn't feel like you.
Because I felt I could do it.
Don't you remember
myself.
this? Because she felt like she could do it herself.
It was a long series. What do you say?
Are any of you doing any acting right now?
Am I doing some acting?
Yeah. We act all the time.
Sherman, you're about to
Not
kick
for
off
pay.
your own sitcom,
Not for
right?
pay, but yes, acting all the time.
Sherman has a wonderful
Sherman.
sitcom now.
He has a sitcom going.
And the name Sherman?
Good behavior.
Good behavior. And is everybody from this cast hitting you up to be on the new cast?
Yeah, I'm going to pick it. I'm going to pick it.
He hasn't asked us yet.
Well, we just got started.
We're talking about billing.
Right. What are some of you? What are some other projects you're working on right now?
Well, I just finished a movie with Chris Farley and Matthew Perry called Edward and Hunt. It's a send-up of Lewis and Clark. these two goofballs like Monty Python. I mean, they go west. But I'm a rich man, and they're in love with one of them is in love with my daughter.